Hello everyone and welcome to this video, which is in our Great Engine MiddleGames series. I'm Grandmaster Matthew Sadler and we are continuing our look at the Torch-Leela Zero CCCC 21 Blitz Challenger match. So yeah, I mean this match just featured some amazing games, and well, I'm going to try and go through as many interesting episodes as possible. Yeah, just have to apologize already because I'm never going to be able to do the whole match justice. Just so many good games, but yeah, let's try and focus on a few of the absolute highlights. So this position was reached after 16 moves of a Slav. Not a very successful line for black really. After bishop f5, knight e5. Knight bd7 is the most common move, at least trying to challenge white's centre there. Knight a6 was played, but then white goes f3, knight b4, e4, and bishop g6, bishop e3, and then we recapture on c4. And basically this bishop on g6 is really just looking at a brick wall. This knight on b4 looks good, but it doesn't really have that much influence at all. It's not very clear at all where black's counterplay is coming from. Well, Leela struggled quite a bit, and we reached this position after 16 moves. Black's taken on e5, but white's got this very typical sort of pawn mass here that actually really tends to be mobile. It's very hard for black to stop white from playing f5, and that's exactly what Torch did. So f5, bishop h7. But what Leela's trying to do, Leela's trying to absorb it basically, and you know, this pawn on e5 becomes weak when you play f4 to f5, and you know, if white takes on e6, white can win a pawn by taking on e6, but then you're just left with these double pawns, e5 and e4. Black's piece is reasonably active, you know, black might stand some chances here. But Torch had a beautiful idea planned, and that was to play the move bishop f6. I have to say that I was a little bit surprised when bishop f6 happened. Yeah, you know, obviously there's going to be some danger to it, but you know, after giving up the dark square bishop in that way, white's, you know, pretty well, white doesn't have that much control of the dark squares, and you know, black's pieces are reasonably placed to start defending from there. So it wasn't obvious to me at all that this was the way to go for white. But yeah, I mean, Torch makes it look probably what it is, an absolutely forced win. So Leela took on f6 here. E takes f5 was actually what both Dragon and Stockfish preferred. And then this move rook f3 is coming in, intending rook g3. What's very nice is that after e takes f5, the a2 g8 diagonal is opened. So after rook g3, you won't be able to play something like bishop g6 because I'll just have rook takes g6. The pin on the f7 pawn is quite important. So let's have a look. f4, rook h3, bishop g6, queen g4, threatening queen takes g6 there. King h7, queen f4, we're threatening ideas like bishop g7 and queen h6. Rook h8 has to be played, rook d1, and well, it's obvious that black's in all sorts of trouble here. None of his pieces are working at all, and white's, you know, completely in control. But still, you know, it's you know, white's still got to finish it off. But yeah, very, very powerful indeed for white, of course. So Leela preferred to take on f6, e takes f6, and then king h8. And the idea is that obviously queen g4, we just meet it with rook g8, and you know, black's got to be a little bit quick because you know, or rather white's got to be a little bit quick because you know, ideas like queen e5 takes f6 are coming in. You know, you've got to keep the momentum going. Well, Torch played queen c1 here, and after rook g8, queen takes h6. And yeah, the nice thing about this structure for white is that yeah, with the pawn on f6, obviously we're attacking g7, but the pawn on f5 covers the g6 square, so there's no chasing away the white queen with rook g6 here. But Leela actually comes up with a very ingenious way of chasing away the white queen, and again it's using the dark squares. So knight c2, attacking the rook on a1. And then a gorgeous reply, rook f3 from Torch here. The idea, of course, knight takes a1, we just go rook h3, and that's all, folks. So what Leela did instead was to play the move after rook f3, to play the move bishop e3. And the idea is just to chase away the queen. If you go take on e3, we take on e3, queen e3. Maybe something like queen e5 or something. And, well, we've got rid of some attacking white pieces and we're starting to nibble away at the strong points like the f6 pawn. So Torch just played queen h5. And again, of course, knight a1. We've got rook h3 still. Leela played rook g5. The rook went back to h4. And again, knight takes a1, still rook h3. Yeah, you know, these ones I always find quite difficult to judge with white. I mean, you know, black is getting tempy to defend, so it's very hard to know. Well, first of all, you know, should you play after a move like bishop e3? Should you play queen h4 first, or should you play queen h5? Actually, in this case, queen h4 would allow bishop g5 takes f6, so not too difficult to see. But then the question is, you know, trying to assess, well, what is this like? Basically, you know, is it okay? I mean, black's got a few extra tempi to defend. He's also attacking this rook on a1. Is this, you know, is this okay, or have I just lost a lot of time here? Well, what actually happened here, of course, is that black, well, really needs to be able to defend this bishop on h7 because rook h3 is coming in. So that involves really putting the queen on the back rank. And there's a couple of ways of doing it. Queen b8 was what Leela played. Queen d8 is also quite interesting. And then we've got rook d1. Queen takes f6. F takes e6. Queen e5. And, well, you know, black's trying to keep everything together. I just had to show you this one because I thought there was a really gorgeous move. And it was this move e7. We're threatening rook d8 check. And if queen e7, we've got rook f7. And hitting the queen and the bishop on h7. Really, really nice, that one. So queen b8 was played by Leela. Rook d1, all the same. Just stop my alarm there. And then now, what move has we got here? We've got e takes f5 here, or we've got Leela's queen g8. Now, e takes f5 was played a lot by the engines. And this was, again, gorgeous. Bishop f7. So we're stopping the queen from defending the bishop on h7 from g8, so rook h3 is threatened. And then the engines were just looking at this, just basically trying to aim for a draw by repetition, just by chasing the queen away from the h file. But now, well, maybe you want to pause the video if you want to do a little bit of tactical practice, because my engines were coming up with this beautiful move, queen h7, king h7, rook h3 check. Well, this pawn f6, bishop f7, it's causing this king a little bit of worry, really. So rook h5. And now if rook h5, we've got bishop h6. So the engines were playing bishop takes h5 check. And now we're also threatening here rook d7 check as well. So the engines decide to flee forwards, king h6 and king g5. And now f7. And white is threatening f8 queen here. But there's the move bishop c5. And I was really trying to work out, you know, what on earth is this? But white has another gorgeous move. Again, you might want to pause the video here and try this little tactical puzzle. It's this move rook h5 check. If you go king h5, I've got f8 queen, which is quite gorgeous. And if you do something like king f6, then rook f5 check and rook c5, I get rid of the bishop. And now f8 queen is in the running again. And if you go something like king g4, I go rook f5, bishop f8, and now the move bishop d7. And some sort of discovered attack is going to win for white. For example, knight e3, I go rook a5 check and g3 check. And black's got nothing better than queen takes g3 when he's masses of material down. So some really beautiful lines there, really amazing lines. This move queen h7 is incredible, simply. Well, Leela played queen g8, so getting the queen across, and it looks like, you know, okay, you know, black was attacking a rook or something like that, hasn't managed to do that, but black has managed to get the queen to defend the bishop on h7, and there is some sort of counterplay happening as well. So queen h3, another quiet move there. White just actually just aiming for the e6 square. Basically just want to take here, and then also go f7 or also go rook d7. Obviously, if you get rid of this f7 square, a rook on the 7th is going to be attacking h7. And Leela decided to play the move bishop c5, getting out of the way of rook e3, so not even allowing white any opportunity to gain material. I mean, there's lots and lots of ways in which white can just simply win a piece back. Even ideas just like bishop d3, hitting the knight and then grabbing the bishop after, and that's going to be a couple of pawns extra for white. So bishop c5 played, and black also looking to try and play knight d4 here and block the d file, and also defend the pawn on e6. So f takes e6 played, and now black needs to find something, and Leela played the move knight d4. So not a bad idea. Okay, white is going to take a pawn on f7 here, but we're blocking the d file, and we're attacking the rook on f3. And after e takes f7, which is the move that Torch played, queen g6, it looks like we're kind of in control here. We've absorbed all the effort. It's just doubled f pawns now. It doesn't look a particularly threatening pawn mass anymore. We can cover the f8 square with f8, and we've got some reasonably active pieces. But the big problem is that black's still finding it very hard to generate any counterplay against white. And we've got rook h4 coming in, and of course on closer reflection we've got moves like e5 to e6 coming in, and we've even got moves like b4, just knocking away the support of the bishop for this knight and just grabbing a piece back. So Leela played rook h5, takes, so just swapping off a pair of rooks here. Now that's removing the pressure against the h-file. The one thing that you've really got to watch out though with black now is that e5 to e6 becomes possible, because we're defending the pawn on f6 with the queen, and there's no longer a rook on the 5th rank stopping e5. So knight c2 was played by Leela, e5 and knight e3, hitting the rook on d1, threatening queen g2, and also hitting the bishop on c4. And Torch just played rook d2. I mean, it's always really impressive, isn't it, in these engine attacks when you get these moments of frenetic activity, but then you also get these moments where in the middle of a completely unbalanced sharp position, one side just seems to be taking time in order to build up the position, and this is pretty much what is happening here. Now my engines just wanted to play the move queen g4 in this position, forcing the exchange of queens, and also attacking these pawns with a knight. And this was quite amazing what happened. Rook e2, bishop g6, and now a few different things. I mean, h3 was one idea, knight e3, bishop a2, knight f1, rook e1, knight g3, king h2, bishop f2, rook d1, bishop h5, rook a1. I thought this was really quite amazing to watch. I mean, basically the black minor pieces have managed to push, looks like, push away the white pieces completely from any area of influence. Bishop on a2, now rook on a1. But the problem is that these pawns are just too big, and e6, e7 and f8 is happening, and there's nothing that black can do about it. That was really I thought that was really quite stunning there. Another idea that you can do with white, a little bit less spectacular, is just go e6 and then e7 here, and we're just threatening f8 queen just to pick up the exchange again. Also very, very powerful indeed. Leela played the move knight f5 in this position, queen h3. Amazing, isn't it, how often the white queen seems to have moved on the h-file, little squares and all that, just absorbing what black is doing, and just remaining with the big advantages. So just getting out of the attack, and we're looking for stuff like e6, for example. So knight h6 played by Leela, fighting for all Leela's worth. Knight f7 is one idea, and knight g4 into f2 is another. But now this stunning move, queen d7. So I mean, we're starting to get ideas like queen d8, for example, quite apart from stuff like queen b7, for example. And well, in this position, Leela played rook f8, and this was the moment that attracted me most of all to this game. Just when I was playing through the moves just quickly. I mean, there's 500 games to play through, so I'm just looking at it slightly glazed eyes, but just really trying to see what makes my my attention suddenly pick up. And this move really made me stop and say, "Whoa, what is this?" And it's this amazing move. You might want again to stop the video and just have a little work out what you think Torch played, because it's a fork, but not a fork that I've ever seen in this scenario before. It's this move Queen e7. Absolutely amazing, forking the bishop and forcing the rook. And we've got a few extra ideas. Rook d8 is also coming in. So bishop e7 played, but now f takes c7, and there's just no way that black can stop this. Either I'm going to go ef, for example, if you go king g7, I'll just go ef queen, and then rook d8 check, and then go f8 queen. And yeah, if you try and defend the rook on f8 like this, I'll just play e8 queen, for example. So there's just no way that that black can defend against all these threats. So rook takes f7 was Leela's move, but after e8 queen and bishop takes f7, well, black, white is just the exchange up and a few pawns, and well, it's just completely finished here. And Torch made no mistake, finishing Leela off in this 3-minute plus 2 seconds game. So there we are. I mean, I thought that was absolutely stunning, and I mean, the whole attack was absolutely beautiful from Torch, but this move Queen e7 was absolutely beautiful. Really, I've never seen a fork in this kind of setting before, really. And yeah, always love seeing little ideas like that I've never seen before. Just absolutely brilliant. So there we are. Hope you enjoyed that little attacking middle game there. If you enjoyed it, why not give a like, subscribe to the channel, take a look at my new book, Reengineering the Chess Classics, and also the old one as well, Silicon Road to Chess Improvement, which is full of amazing games like this. But otherwise, thanks very much for watching, and hope to see you at the next video. Thanks for watching.